Let's discuss how quickly the political vultures began to circle around Uchu. Now, guys, I don't know if you know, but right now, Julius Malema is confronting one of the most serious legal challenges of his career, and suddenly everyone has something to say, from former allies to political opponents. The chatter is overwhelming. The timing is intriguing, and the motives, quite questionable. Mulini, and welcome to yet another episode of Conversations with Nkosi. Now, this is the news commentary section where we will be offering insightful commentary and exploring various perspectives on the stories that shape our world. To provide some context, Julius Malema has been sentenced to 5 years in prison for unlawfully firing a rifle at a political rally in 2018. This case didn't arise overnight. It has been years in the making, primarily pursued by the AfriForum group, which initiated the case after, footage of the incident went viral. Even now, despite the sentencing, Malema is appealing, indicating that this legal battle is far from being over. Now, what's particularly interesting is that as soon as the sentence was announced, a chorus of reactions began. And guys, the articles discussed will be linked in the description box below. Now, let us get into what we got from the articles. Floyd Shivambu speaks out. So now, Ntate Floyd, who was once Malema's right-hand man, has publicly criticized him. He described Malema's behavior as childish and highlighted the financial damage that the ongoing legal case has caused the EFF over the years. Now, let's pause for a moment. This is not a new case, nor is it new behavior or information. So the question then arises, Ogoba, why now? We then have the Premier of the Eastern Cape, on the other hand, Oscar Mabuyane. I've touched on him in previous conversations, so if you're not familiar with his background, I encourage you to check out my, earlier videos for more context. Now, onto the topic at hand. Ndate Mabuyane is seeking to sue Malema for defamation regarding claims about his qualifications. Now, we need to reflect on the timing of this move. You have Julius Malema, who has long been known for his bold and often controversial remarks about political personalities, and that's an integral part of his identity in the, political arena. So it raises the question, why is this legal action gaining traction now, particularly when Malema seems to be in a more vulnerable position? Let's talk about the timing, guys, because it's loud. Now, here's a perspective that may resonate with some. No? The legal challenges faced by Malema are not a sudden phenomenon. They trace back to incidents that date back to, 2018. And this case has been under scrutiny for several years, with AfriForum diligently, monitoring its progress throughout. What is striking, however, is the timing of the reactions that we're witnessing now. Only after the sentencing phase have we seen rivals become more outspoken, former allies shift to a critical stance, and legal warnings, seem to be escalating, And to me, this pattern low-key suggests more than mere coincidence. It appears to be seizing an opportunity that presents itself as a result of the situation, if you may. It's a reminder that in the world of politics and legal matters, the dynamics can shift dramatically based on timing and context. Now, while the ongoing legal proceedings have been a serious issue for some time, this fever of the responses now raises important questions about motivations and the timing of public discourse. It also highlights how complex relationships and past alliances can be altered in the wake of, significant events, often revealing deep layers, of political strategy at play. Now, about the hypocrisy chats, let's delve into the situation surrounding Floyd, because it prompts significant scrutiny. I mean, it's one thing to have a different political stance, and it's another, when it comes to disagreement, because that is a fundamental aspect of a healthy democracy. Ne? However, what seems to raise eyebrows is the timing of this vocal concern now that Floyd's political standing, is at its nadir. Now, this begins to question, where was this favor and compassion during the prolonged ordeal when the case was gradually unfolding over the years? I mean, if the driving force behind this outcry is genuinely rooted in principle, then one would expect the same level of advocacy to be applied consistently, regardless of, the political climate. Now, the stark contrast between past silence and being vocal now suggests a troubling inconsistency. When reactions appear more aligned with opportunism than with steadfast principles, it leads to a perception of mere positioning, rather than genuine advocacy. Because again, this inconsistency not only questions the motive behind today's statements, but it also reflects on the broader issue of political accountability, which is a myth, guys, if you may. Now, if true concern for an individual or the principles associated with their predicament exists, shouldn't that concern transcend political fluctuations? Instead, what we are seeing now is when voices only emerge during moments of vulnerability, it risks reducing serious political discourse to mere theatrics rather than fostering a sincere culture of accountability and support, for individuals in complex situations. Not forgetting, it is currently election season, so this could also just be, one of those campaigning strategies again, but ke asas. Then we have the bigger picture. What we are witnessing is something very common in the world of politics. When a powerful figure is strong, people align. But when that same figure is weakened, people tend to distance themselves, and sometimes they attack. Julius Malema is not just facing a legal battle, he is also facing a political moment of isolation, if you may. Even his own structures could possibly be affected, if the sentence holds, especially considering the implications for his role in Parliament. But then again, anything can happen. Anything can happen. With that being said, this situation alone goes beyond Julius Malema. It involves the dynamics of politics, because again, timing is crucial and loyalty is often conditional. But then again, silence is frequently a strategic choice. Now, as the noise increases, the key question that we must consider is, are these reactions driven by a genuine pursuit of justice, or are they simply an attempt to exploit the moment? I want to hear your thoughts. Do you believe that accountability is finally catching up with Malema, or are we witnessing political opportunism unfolding in real time? Let's discuss in the comment section. That marks the end of today's video. Thank you so much for lending your eyes and ears. I hope that you found today's video informative. Please do not forget to click on that subscription button or light the notification bell so that you do not miss out on any new uploads. Nkosi.